Want to know what I eat? Today, I'm sharing with you the top 10 foods that I include almost every single day, if not every week. This will help you prevent and fight cancer. People often say, we really don't know what causes cancer, but that's just not true. We actually do have a really good idea. We're surrounded by carcinogens, whether it's in our air or in our food, and yet not everyone develops cancer. That's not just luck. It's because some people are consistently making choices to protect their DNA. The reality is that cancer rates are climbing, especially in young adults. And at its core, cancer starts with DNA damage. The biggest shift that I made in my own thinking was that it's not just about avoiding toxins. It's also about giving your body steady exposure to protectants. The earlier and the longer you give your cells protection, the healthier they'll be. Now, as a stage 3 cancer survivor and a researcher in cancer care, I've spent decades looking at this exact question. And now I spend my time building meals that are going to help protect my DNA, fend off cancer cells, support my immunity, and help me live longer. That starts with number 1. Mushrooms, especially shiitake. Shiitake mushrooms are rich in beta-glucan, which actually help prime your immune system. This is activating cells known as macrophages or natural killer cells. In plain language, it helps your front-line defenders identify and respond to attacks. Now, I eat mushrooms several times a week and rotate the varieties. Now, you do not need fancy supplements or extracts to benefit from this. Just make a simple stir fry or add them to a soup. Okay, but moving on to number 2. Turmeric in real food form. Turmeric offers curcumin, which down signals your inflammatory pathways. This also appears to influence the cancer signaling pathways and angiogenesis pathways. I use turmeric in my cooking whenever I can. Now, people often ask about black pepper. Now, black pepper can raise the levels of turmeric in the body because it slows the breakdown. But this combination can also interact with some drug metabolisms. So if you're on medications, especially tamoxifen, you can't take turmeric in supplement form. However, it is quite safe to use in forms that you would eat. The difference here is the dose. Now, another practical way to increase the absorption of turmeric is by eating it with a meal that has some fat. This is going to increase absorption. Okay, but on to number 3, cruciferous vegetables. Kale, broccoli, bok choy, cabbage. Just be sure to chop, massage, or chew them well. When you do this, this releases an enzyme that's a precursor to sulforaphane. Now, sulforaphane supports detoxification enzymes. This is going to help manage oxidative stress. And in turn, this is going to influence how your body and your cells respond to DNA damage. Now, I take my kale and I massage it with a small amount of extra virgin olive oil. Squeeze some lemon on top, let that sit for a few minutes before eating. Now, if you use short, gentle cooking of these vegetables, it's going to be much easier on your digestive system moving forward. Okay, but on to number 4. Berries. Now, I love raspberries and blackberries. These are my top picks. But any berry that's really deeply colored is going to be rich in a variety of antioxidants. This is what's going to support a healthier inflammatory profile. It's also going to feed helpful and healthy microbes in your mouth and in your gut. Now, gut health is deeply linked to your immune system. So we want to make sure we're supporting your gut health as we support your recovery and remission. Berries are part of my meal planning every single day. Now, if you're in a place where you find a hard time sourcing blackberries, I want you to check the freezer section. You can often rotate through different mixed berry blends and still get the same benefits even if they're frozen. Okay, but on to the next one. Green tea. Green tea provides a concentrated form of EGCG. This has been studied for its effects on oxidative stress and the cell signaling pathway. Now, adding daily green tea to your routine is a simple strategy that most cancer survivors are going to be able to start right away. Now, if you're sensitive to caffeine, be sure to pick the decaffeinated options. Okay, but on to the next. Walnuts. Walnuts bring alpha-linoleic acid. They also have polyphenols and precursors that your gut converts to create healthy microbiome. These metabolites have been researched for their anti-inflammatory effects. Now, this is an easy addition. If you have steel-cut oats in the morning, you can sprinkle them on top. Or if you have a salad or a yogurt bowl, even often just a small handful as an afternoon snack can help support your appetite and stabilize your energy. Okay, but that brings me to number 7, flaxseed. Now, ground flaxseed is one of my non-negotiables. It's packed with fiber, and we know that fiber is an effective way to lower your risk of cancer recurrence. Just 2 tablespoons of flaxseed can give you 30 grams of fiber per day, and that's your target as a cancer survivor. Most women that I meet inside the Cancer Freedom Program are far below their fiber target. This is a quick and effective strategy to help you start reaching yours today. Okay, but on to the next. Soy-like foods like tofu, tempeh, or edamame beans. Whole or minimally processed soy offers isoflavones. Now, these are plant compounds that fit with your estrogen receptor differently than estrogen inside your body. Contrary to old myth that soy is going to increase your hormone levels and increase your risk of cancer, this is a new strategy. We've had clear data that show the more you eat soy, the lower your risk of cancer or cancer recurrence. Because they're occupying the same estrogen receptors, but in a different way, they're occupying that receptor. So any residual estrogen in your body cannot do the same. However, they don't fit with those estrogen receptors the same, so they do not increase the hormones in your body. Plus, the bonus here is the protein. Many women undereat on protein during and after their treatment. This worsens exhaustion and muscle loss. Now, a serving of tofu or edamame beans are going to give you that much needed protein. It's also going to support your strength and your recovery after your treatment. Okay, but on to the next option, and this one is the same but slightly different. White button mushrooms. This is an easy everyday option for you. Now, if shiitake mushrooms are not available, white button mushrooms are a great option. They're affordable, they're versatile. I saute a big batch at the start of the week and then include them on salads and omelets. The point here is consistency, not perfection. Okay, but on to the next. Beans and lentils. Beans deliver fiber, plant-based protein, and minerals and vitamins that your body needs. Now, the fiber that comes along in beans works to moderate your blood sugar. This is also going to improve your cholesterol, and it's going to feed microbes that are beneficial for colon cells. Now, if beans bother your digestion, here's what I want you to do. Eat them in smaller portions. Plus, you need to take canned beans and rinse them very well. Also, try different varieties like red lentils or mung beans. And when you're eating them, chew them slowly and chew them well. Now, food is not a drug, and that is precisely the advantage. A plate is a package of multiple different compounds and strategies that are all working together. This includes fiber and minerals and vitamins and phytochemicals. The goal here is to build a proactive pattern, something that you can repeat on most days. And here's how I personally stratify my day. I start my day with a meal that's high in protein. This is going to support my muscle, my immunity, and help me recover from treatment. For many women, this means your breakfast should contain at least 30 grams of protein. Now, for my other meals, I focus on filling my plate with half of it vegetables of different colors. Cruciferous vegetables and berries show up daily. I add purposeful fats like walnuts or olive oil, chia seeds, flaxseed, and help with absorption. Plus, I use culinary spices like turmeric or ginger, garlic. These herbs have extra phytonutrients in them. Plus, I keep added sugar or ultra-processed foods out of my diet. But just a word on supplements here, because when we think of nutrition, we often think of supplements. There's obviously a place for supplements in cancer recovery and remission. However, I often see cancer survivors look to supplements first, while more or less ignoring the details of their nutrition. They carry a belief that they're eating healthy, so there's nothing else they can do with their food. But this is completely untrue. Until you know the precise details of your nutrition, macronutrients, micronutrients, then you're not in a place to add in any supplements. Now look, it is very true that some oncology drugs can extend your life by months and years and decades. And I am so grateful that those options exist. But alongside those options, we also have nutrition strategies that can do the same. So it's not enough just to focus on the drugs or just focus on the nutrition. You need both. We do not want to choose between medicine and food. We need to use both with intention. Now, my own stage 3 cancer diagnosis taught me that waiting for the perfect time or the perfect condition to start working on my nutrition was never going to arrive. I was just going to keep feeling stuck if I didn't make a change. The body responds to simple things done consistently. Mushrooms in a pan, turmeric in a pot, greens on the plate, berries in a bowl, beans in a soup, tea in a mug. That is how you build exposure to protectants, not just for one day, but for many days ahead. Okay, so now that you know what I eat in a day and the exact foods that I add in on a routine basis, the next thing you need to know are what foods to avoid after cancer. That's exactly why I'm linking up this next video here. Here are the only 2 foods that have been directly linked to cancer. 2 foods. That's it. It's so simple, and start here right now.